I hope you've got 10 good minutes because it's the best 10 minutes you're going to spend before the regular season starts on Sunday against New England Patriots. You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, as always, coming to you from the studio that everybody says, oh my gosh, man, Lap, is that the new studio? Yeah, it's the new studio. The reason it's the 10 best minutes of your life, we have defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, and man, he breaks it down. He breaks down his personnel. You know, it's like you're listening to, I don't know, preparing for the draft. And then, okay, once I got him and I'm developing him, now I'm getting ready for the season. I mean, he has a lot of things to talk about with his personnel, and he does it super effectively, as you would imagine. Then we also talk about the New England Patriots, the problems that they may present to a defensive football team. And I think his football team's ready. I know defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo is ready, and you will be too. Welcome to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. As always, we're coming to you from the studios provided by First Star Logistics, which are second to none, and our guest is second to none. He runs the Bengals defense. He is the defensive coordinator. He is the mastermind. He is Lou Anarumo, and he is not only a hell of a football coach, but an unbelievable human being. Coach, appreciate you carving time for us. I know it's a busy day for you, sir.
All good. All good. Great to be here and ready to get started with this season. We just took the team picture, and it's always seems like the start of it. So ready to rock.
That's great. That's awesome. So give me what you think are the strengths of your defensive football team.
Well, I just think how we've really come together as a group, all 11 guys knowing what their jobs are. I think, the addition of our free agents have really blended in well to the scheme and what we're trying to do. And, Geno Stone and Sheldon Rankins and guys like that. And really, really pleased with the guys that we've had here and the way they've accepted the challenge of the things we had to improve on from last year. I feel like we've had a heck of a camp and ready to put it on display on Sunday.
It's interesting, Coach. The football team as a whole, there's a nice blend of experience and youth. And it's that way on either side of the football and special teams, for that matter. I mean, there's the veteran leadership, and then there's so many young guys that are filling important roles. I think that's a really good dynamic. And then the veteran guys are so generous imparting their knowledge to the younger guys, aren't they?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I think we got a great group that way. As I mentioned, even the new guys, you see Geno working with the younger DBs or certainly we know what Vaughn will do. But Sheldon Rankins working with some of the younger D linemen and our guys that have always been here, BJ and Sam and Trey and, guys like that, just really trying to aid, the young guys in their, quest to become a big part of what we do this year.
In the 53-man roster as it stands now, and of course it's kind of fluid. It could change, could alter some, but right now, 25 defensive players, and fives are wild, man. Five's the number. 5 defensive ends, 5 defensive tackles, 5 linebackers, 5 corners, 5 safeties. Yeah. I mean, it's 5 across the board. Talk a little bit about the newest addition, KJ Henry.
Yeah, excited to work with KJ. Just got here a couple of days ago, so has done a good job in Washington. So. Obviously losing Cam Sample for the year and Miles for a little bit. We're going to need some reinforcements to come in and help. And I think KJ certainly once we get to working with him a little bit, hopefully he'll be able to provide some depth for us for sure.
And what about your young interior defensive tackle, Kris Jenkins Jr.? Give us an assessment of him after watching him in training camp, Coach.
Excited what Kris has brought to the table for us. He's kind of what we thought he'd be. Great guy, first and foremost, already a true professional, comes to work every day and does things the right way, but really strong at the point of attack, which is so important up there. Tries to do everything that Coach Hobby's teaching him, and, really pleased to have Kris.
You mentioned Sheldon Rankins, and watching him go out there on a day-to-day basis, he's a pro's pro for sure. There's no question.
Oh, 100%. There's a reason why he's who he is and, the production that he's had over his career and as long as he's been playing. And, he's, Trey Hendrickson played with him down in New Orleans and Vaughn, so he kind of knew what we were getting there in terms of a locker room guy. And he's exceeded expectations in all areas.
And watching Trey, man, I tell you, if his first step quickness has gotten quicker, it's remarkable that it can, but it does, man. I mean, that guy is just like his short space quickness, his quick twitch is just unbelievable. It really is.
He had a great offseason. I mean, he was in here with Joey Boze every day. I'm talking every day. I remember getting a text on 4th of July. So, Trey certainly has that focus that he always has, but it's kind of ratcheted up a little bit. And, certainly he's expecting great things for himself, and we are as well.
So Cedric Johnson on the edge, a young guy that is going to be filling a role for you due to the injuries you talked about.
Yeah, I think Cedric's, again, another one that another young guy that's done some good things in camp. He's still got a ways to go like most of those guys do, but he's flashed some pass rush ability. He's flashed some special team, stuff that Darren can use. So looking forward to having him up and ready to go as well.
Now, your 4 linebackers, everybody's familiar with Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, Joe Bocci, and Akeem Davis-Gaither, but a guy that was one of the stars of training camp, man, Njongmeta. I mean, he earned a spot, didn't he?
He sure did. I mean, he was a guy that came to work every day, all about the right stuff. And listen, at the end of the day, certainly did good things in practice. But when the lights came on and he got a chance to play and tackle people, he did it at a high level. And he's a great guy, and I'm glad he had the opportunity.
Coach, your linebacker room, individually and collectively, the football IQ in that room. I mean, you got a bunch of smart guys, smart in general, but then football IQ guys too. I mean, that room is pretty impressive mentally.
Yeah, I've always said that, they've always been a group that are a bunch of problem solvers, both during the week in practice and always asking good questions. And certainly during game day or even within a play, these guys are constantly communicating to each other and to others. And they always want to know the whys of what we're doing. And that's so important. And, they all do a great job of doing things the right way.
You mentioned 2 veteran safeties that are playing at a high level in communication. I mean, these guys, it's like having another coach on the football field, watching these guys and listening to these guys communicate. But what about some of the young bucks, some of the young guys you get back there, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing for them is having our veteran guys that have been around here, the Mike Hiltons. Now Cam has been around for a little bit, but you talk about Geno and Vaughn, guys that have been in this league for a little bit over 5 years. Vaughn almost 7 or 8, right. And it's a great way for those guys to learn how to be a pro. The Daijahn Anthony's of the world, and Josh Newton's learning from those guys. So it can only help their immediate future, but their careers as well.
And what about Dax Hill making that transition to the corner position? I mean, he is about as smooth an athlete as you can imagine. I mean, he gets in and out of cuts. I mean, he's just a smooth ball player, man.
Yeah, Dax has done a good job. I'm pleased with where he's at. He's, other than quarterback, that might be the hardest position on the field. With some of the rules that are kind of going against you a little bit and all the things that can happen out there. But I'm pleased where he's at. I'm pleased with the preseason that he's had, and looking forward to. He's really worked hard at it, takes a lot of pride in it, and looking forward to him having a great year.
Let's talk about the Patriots a little bit, Coach, while we've got an opportunity. Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. I mean, it's his first year in that role. They have a Gerard Mayo who has only been in coaching 5 years, and he was a great player himself, linebacker with the Patriots. He's now the head coach. Jacoby Brissett, there he is again. I mean, this guy, man, watching him, though, he's hard to tackle. He's hard to get on the ground. I mean, he's kind of stout in his lower body. He's got some make you miss to him, and he can throw the football. He's a smart dude, isn't he?
Well, he's been around for a long time. He's a really good football player. We have the utmost respect for everybody that you just mentioned, starting with Alex, who we were with here our first year. And, Coach Mayo, as you said, was a tremendous football player and obviously been brought up in a great system up there in New England under Coach Belichick. So, and Jacoby's played a ton of football, so he's seen a lot of things. And He's done a lot of good things in his career. Really, we've played against him a bunch just through the Cleveland stuff, and I feel like Alex has seen us and we've seen them, with Cleveland. So, we're going to have to play our best as we always do in the NFL.
So at the running back position, Stevenson and Gibson, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. They're pretty well stacked back there at running back, aren't they?
Yeah, I really believe those two guys are big, powerful. They have speed. It's a really, really good running back room for them. And those guys, they're productive, and it's easy to see why. And I'm sure they're going to feature them on Sunday.
So, and Jacoby, I mean, I don't know if they're going to have much for quarterback run package, but when he decides to extend and create, I mean, handling that running game, in whatever way, shape, or form, controlling that offensive line in the trenches and handling that running game is going to be big. And the other guy I look at, Hunter Henry, I mean, to me, he's kind of like the Bengals have Gesicki and Hudson, these receiver tight end types that can, flex a little bit and run routes to catch the football. Hunter Henry falls in that category, doesn't he?
Oh, he's been another one that's been a good player for a long time. And, don't forget about Austin Hooper that they brought over from Cleveland, who's been a good player as well. Two big guys that can get open. So they've added some talent at the wide receiver position. As always, it's we're looking forward to Sunday and looking forward to the opportunity that and the challenges that those guys bring.
And as always, Coach, it always ends up in the trenches, just like our podcast right here. I mean, controlling things at the line of scrimmage. That New England Patriot offensive line, has got some new little bit, and handling those guys and making sure gap sound and gap control and all that stuff's a big deal, isn't it?
Always will be, always is. And but our guys are going to be up to it. We've got, like I said, I really think we've had a good preseason, good training camp, really going all the way back to the spring. I like the energy of our group. I think they're singularly focused on what we're trying to get accomplished this year, and really looking forward to Sunday.
Couldn't agree more, Coach. I mean, the energy and the enthusiasm, the work that's taken place. I mean, you guys have upped the ante in terms of all of that on a day-to-day basis, not to mention, the joint practices with two different organizations. I think this football team is ready and up in the bit. And, Coach, you're the best. We appreciate your time. And I'm looking forward to that first game plan of Lou Anarumo, because the Patriots don't know what's about to hit them.
Well, I appreciate it, Lap. We're looking forward to, and always great to be here, and thanks for having me.
You're the best, sir. Appreciate you. Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.